All right, let's try this again for the third time. I don't know why this is doing this. So I don't know why I lost the connection again, but hopefully we're good and we're there too. So we should be back. We're going to go for probably another half hour or so to make up for this. I don't know what the heck's going on. Happy holidays. Woo! It's getting crazy around here too. So it's been crazy at the stores, on the roads, on the street. I do not plan to leave the house for a couple days for sure. So, man, it's been crazy. So I know a lot of people are talking about Z Nation. I don't watch Z Nation. I watched a little bit of it, but it's just too cheesy for me. It's super cheesy a little bit. So to go back to Mark's question about Rick. So I think that Rick, I don't know what they're going to do. To me, it would make sense that they went to Ohio for the Commonwealth, and you see the Commonwealth story. But so Rick is really left there on its own. But he didn't leave. He did not leave on his own. He was kind of kidnapped to stay alive by Jadis. And maybe he can't move for a while. Maybe it's because his wound on there too. Maybe they're working on a cure. Maybe they won't let him leave. But I would assume he wants to go back to his family. But what has he been doing for 6 years? That's a long time. Rick's going to look like a super old man. Maybe he's going to look like the old man that we saw on the show. Old man Rick will be back in the movies for sure. So Cooper, Maxim, I guess he was talking about a thing. So if if Cooper was saying it was confirmed about the Pikes, he believes, I can't say it's 100% confirmed because I don't know, but if he's saying it is, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, that Ezekiel could survive the Pikes. What do you think Ezekiel's fate will be? Because if you know the comics, Rosita and Ezekiel are by far the biggest people to die on that list. Tammy Rose is on there. Luke is on there. You know, a bunch of people. 12 people, actually. Will we have 8? Will we have 12? Who will it be? I don't know just yet. But I would kind of want Ezekiel to live. Because if we don't have Rick on the show, Maggie will probably come back selectively. I just don't know what the future of the show holds for season 10 and beyond. For sure. So, Stuart, Sam Crow, Sons of Anarchy, Reggie, can you tell me why a whisperer walks like a walker but moves like fast and kill Jesus? Well, a whisperer is a regular person. And his goal or her goal is to go in to close to his victims and get rid of them on there too. So, oh man, we gotta get rid of somebody here talking smack. That's what I love people do it. Overrated. Yeah, get out of here. There's a way other channels that are overrated. Mischief. Great name. Q&A. Hi, PT. Can we talk about your trailer for your book? I love your vids, but not sure if that was a serious video. Can we talk about it? Much love. It was a serious video for sure. It was kind of a long time, couple months worth of getting video and putting things together. And yes, Ryan is the character in my book. The trailer is to represent the book series, Fight for Us. It's a real thing. The cover, the art at the end is made by my friend Stan Yak. He made that Fight for Us logo. And I would love to put that on my comic book, but it's tough to make the comic book and deal with that and everything too. Hopefully we can get made. But the trailer is supposed to highlight the zombie apocalypse, and it's going to take place. I kind of put a little spoiler in there what year the book series and other series are going to take place. It's the future, and I think it's kind of cool. The year is made for a reason because and I'll get into that for sure. Cooper, his story. So yeah, I don't really follow much of things on Instagram like that, especially that, but I don't know. We'll see. That guy gets a lot of stuff wrong, and he just doesn't give credit to Spoiling Dead fans when he gets it, and when he puts true facts up there that aren't always true. So just be aware of that. He posts a lot of stuff from other articles that people are said, and a lot of stuff is good, but there's stuff that he does get wrong from time to time. So that could be one of them for sure. Mike, very cool. Got a sword. I had the sword in the trailer is actually my katana. It's, you know, the red scabbard and the dragon, the two dragons on the Suba, or this is my real sword, and that's what draws my connection and reference to Ryan's sword in the story. So, Janet Person, Brian, do you think Negan will save Daryl from being killed by Beta? That would certainly make me like Negan a bit more. Yes, I agree with you on there for sure. I think that the Daryl being saved by Negan, I think Daryl's going to fight Beta for sure, and Beta should kick his ass. I don't want to see that, but Beta should. Beta should be 6'7", 6'8", throw him around, get stabbed a little bit, and punch him in the face and knocks him down, and he's about to kill Daryl, and Negan comes in and bam, comes in and knocks him down, gets away, and I think the Whisperers come and, you know, they scatter, and it's Daryl and Negan, and you're like, whoa, oh man, and then Daryl doesn't know what to do, but Negan just saved him, and he's like, wait, man, I just saved your butt. You can't be coming at me. And he's like, how the hell did you get out? You know, because people got to know that too. So Cooper, I don't know if Rosita dies. That's a great question because Rosita, I mean, early I put like Ezekiel, Rosita on my picks because I think one of them has got to be on there, right? I think one of them definitely has to be one of the Pike victims because kind of the Glenn situation too. The Glenn scenario being put in the lineup, that needs to happen on the show, right? Even though people love Glenn and the dynamic of the show is forever changed after Abraham and Glenn went away, I think that's good. They have to choose wisely who's going to be in that Pike lineup because we don't want another lineup situation from the Saviors too. So I don't know if that's a question, Travis, about Negan and Lucille, but Negan and Lucille have to get back together. It's crazy. Negan and Lucille, right? Like it's a real person. It's a bat. But I understand where they're coming from there too. So I think that Lucille needs to be reunited with Negan for sure. I think that I want to see Carol talk with Negan. We haven't seen that. We haven't seen, you know, Ezekiel and Negan. There's a lot of interactions that we haven't seen for, interactions with Negan. I want to see those things. I would want to see Morgan and Negan interact, but that's not possible on there too. So, Janet, you're very welcome on there too. You post some great questions, as does most people in here too. When it's actually a question, when someone writes Q&A and they're like, "I didn't like your videos," well, that's not a question. That's just a statement, and it's a rude statement on there too. So why is that person in here? I don't know why people want to come in here and just be rude because they want to say those things too. So everybody has a voice, everybody has opinion, everyone wants to show that opinion nowadays too. Sometimes, you ever hear the old adage, if you don't have anything nice to say, shut your damn mouth? I think that needs to come back around. But not to you guys, you know, just for people in general in there too. But you guys are awesome. You are my, you know, Gamma and Big Sexy and Janet and Boyd and Tudor and a bunch of other people that I'm Travis and M King and a lot of people have been here for a while. And I love talking about all this stuff because you guys are what makes this channel go and grow for sure. So I'm going to go over the 2 o'clock time here just because of the technical difficulties. And I know it's not my fault, but I hate the idea of doing those things because it sucks. I don't want to have any problems. I want this channel to be known as a good, solid channel with education, entertainment, comedy, stuff you can trust. When I put stuff in there that's going to happen, hopefully it does happen, and I wouldn't put it out there. If it is, it's a disclaimer that it may or may not occur. And I want to talk about educational stuff and my book series to be entertained and educated too. Because I was thinking about it too. You know, The Walking Dead is great, and I love it, and it's ever changing. You know, us, and you know, thank you, Steve, Boyd, Gamma, Travis, everybody for there too. So, I don't know. But Milo's over there in the window now, looking out, and I don't know. I just think it was Spectrum or the modem or something. And Callie's on the sofa over there. It's cold here in Florida. I know it's relatively speaking, it's cold. It's like 60 degrees, and it sucks. But no, it's just a little chilly. For the cats, it's cold because they're used to being 70, 75 in the 80s, and it's going to be warmer for sure. So I know it's all relative for sure. But Tudor, I'm glad you're back. Missed you here and there. Do you think that Daryl and Negan will play the comic part? The worst thing I did was to live when others didn't. Line could fit very well for Daryl considering Glenn. Yeah, I think that Daryl and Negan are going to be the Rick and Negan thing for the show because Daryl needs to be have some of the storyline for Rick, and so does Michonne, and so does Carol, and Negan's going to fit in wherever. Negan's going to fit in how he's going to do these things. Will he get his comic connection with Alpha and Beta and this? Hopefully, I think so. I want to see that that it makes sense for the show. I mean, I like the show to stand a little more on its own. I like Jerry. I like Simon. Tara's okay. She's growing on me here and there too, but I like more of the stuff from the show that's kind of for the show. Of course, they got to bring stuff over from the comic because that's the source material, but, I think that would be kind of interesting too. So that's a great question, Steven. Will Alpha get her comic death? I think so. I think that will be fitting for that to happen. I just don't know who it's going to be by. Will it be Negan? Will it be Daryl? Will it be Michonne? What if Michonne cuts her head off? That would be badass. Or Carol. I would love Carol to come in there. This is kind of morbid, we're talking about this, but it's The Walking Dead, But what if Carol has an interaction with Alpha, And it's kind of like, clearly there's no, hiding it, that they're trying to have the back half of season 9 have women in power and women running the zombie apocalypse on there too. And that's great. And I think that I have no problem with that. So I think Alpha is the leader of the Whisperers, which makes sense. And I like the idea that Michonne or Carol could be the other, people to work together to go against to have the women, because it was the governor and Rick, and now you could have Alpha and Michonne or Alpha and Carol on there too. So for what it is on there too. Yeah, Steve, don't even talk to that guy. I don't know. It's the same person. He's blocked, so but it's the same person with a different name over and over and over again. Why would you do that, though? I never got it, why people would have a name and then have a different thing, but it's kind of the same name. Because there's people that go on YouTube or Instagram or something. They have multiple accounts. I don't do that. I'm right here, and then I have at the PT channel, and I think I do have one for mystery boxes, but I don't really use it anymore. That it's just too much work to have too many accounts and logging in and this and that and logging in to say this and that, and it's just kind of ridiculous. And, I got nothing to hide, so I'm just myself. And just like I'm doing a live stream here, you can see my face and see this and see what I look like. I'm not trying to hide anything on there, for sure. So. Exactly, boy, that would be awesome. So Kara and Alpha are in a field of flowers, and then Carol puts Alpha's head in the flowers. That would be pretty awesome. So I think that would be great. Janet, Brian, do you think we'll see something as graphic as Glenn's death, or they tone it down? I hope so, because that's kind of what The Walking Dead's about. But you know how it was, tone down the violence, this and that, and Negan, Lucille, it just was kind of crazy. But I hope so. Yes and no. I would want to see the violence and the graphic craziness of it be towards Alpha and Beta, towards the villains, not towards the good guys. Our guys, I don't want to see that. I want to see the good guys prevail over the bad guys. I'm a child of the 80s and the 90s, and I grew up with G.I. Joes and He-Man and this and Thundercats and all that stuff, and it was always good beat evil. That's kind of what it was in there too. And now they're like, oh, well, there's complications, and in the zombie apocalypse, we don't know good and bad, and evil's this and complicated, and he does good things and bad things. And Game of Thrones, sometimes you got some crazy stuff happening with the villains, and you're like, oh man, this is crazy. So, but I understand where they're getting, and not everything's as cookie cutter as that. Tudor Q&A, what if Carol kills Alpha for killing Henry? Michonne could get the part where Alpha is showing the herd. Carol killing Alpha and Daryl will be Rick for Negan. Everybody gets their spotlight for sure. I agree with that. I would like to see all that too. So I think Michonne is going to be the Rick connection with Alpha, and I believe that Daryl is the Maggie connection with Alpha. And so if Henry gets killed, if that's true, Carol is going to avenge Henry. Oh, Henry. I think that could happen with Carol, and I think it makes sense. I just don't know where Negan kind of fits in, because of, is Negan going to be a Whisperer? He's going to be that. Is he going to do that? If he saves Daryl from the Beta fight, maybe he's already there with them, or because it's going to be remixed. There's going to be twists and turns and things that are different for the show, and I like that about it when it's kind of done, the right way too. So for sure. So what do you got, Eddie Pizzles? Some good stuff. Yeah, let me know. Let me know on Facebook. Because if it's cool stuff, I guess it's confirmed stuff on there for sure. Yeah, Ninja Turtles, exactly, boy. You know what I'm saying. Shredder can't win and take Shredder can't take Splinter and kill Splinter. It's like we don't want to see that. We want to see Michelangelo and Leonardo and Raphael. Maybe Raph gets beat up a little bit, but he lives. Maybe he can get beat up for sure. Cool. Yeah, Eddie Pizzle, let me know what you got on there. Always with the good information in the post on there. You always have got some quality information. I always like that too. When I post stuff, I always try to have, sources and reliable stuff coming your way. I could just make up whatever I want. I could be like, yeah, Glenn's going to get shot, or this is going to happen with this, or I could do that. And, I could just make up whatever I want. But I try to keep it legit, unless it's a discussion and a theory or something that I could possibly think, or something like that too, with the whispers being seen earlier, and maybe it's this. Again, they're discussions. The RJ thing, and, people trying to clown me with it, just hilarious. But take a look in the mirror, come on. AJ Buster, how are they going to account for the fact that Rick's not attempted contact for over 6 years? He's going to have to be abroad or something, right? I think so, AJ. That would make sense. Unless he was in really critical shape where he couldn't move for a couple months, and then he tried to escape, but where he's at won't let him leave. It's kind of like a camp that's like, you're not supposed to leave here. You're ours. You're in a situation where he's kind of, put low in there too. He's got to, he's not a leader by any means. There's a whole group that's there, but Gimple's writing it, I believe. And I don't know if it's going to be Commonwealth or it's going to be something strictly for the movies. That would be kind of crazy. I feel you, Steve. February is too far away. It is pretty far, but it'll be here before you know it. We got the holidays coming up this week. And then really, if we can make it through January, if you can watch, the 8 episodes, maybe they should have a marathon of that too, for sure. But if you watch Netflix and you watch the marathon of that, or you watch, Dawn of the Dead or Day of the Dead, or read my book series, maybe fill the void. Nah, if you want to, I'm not trying to do that, but that would be pretty cool on Amazon. That would be pretty sweet. Fill the zombie void for sure. But Merry Christmas, Brian. It's everybody. So if you celebrate Christmas, again, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays for sure with everybody. Hopefully you guys have safe travels if you're doing anything. Friends and family, always be safe. That's the big thing. Safety first and always, for sure. Pitmaster Dan, I don't think Judith has a cure or immune. The scientists at CDC said they are all affected. Exactly. So you're probably speaking about the latest video that I posted. I don't think she's immune either. I know they were talking about it with Tom Payne at one of the conventions, and they brought up a theory for that, and Tom was like, yeah, that sounds great. But Tom's not on the show anymore. He's not a writer of the show, so he's like, sure, any theory's great. But I think that the immunity thing, I just don't think is for The Walking Dead. I think that's a different thing for sure. Yeah, Eddie, you are a reliable source. That's for sure. Definitely a reliable source. I know Eddie is, and Spoiling Dead fans, obviously, and, a bunch of other people that are some sources that I don't want to give away. They are definitely a source for sure. Max, TWD, do you think Luke will die on the Pikes lineup? I think so. I think Luke is one of the victims. He was one of my picks. Do you think the Whisperers could kidnap Judith Boyd? I hope not. I wouldn't want to see that. I don't think they really kidnap anybody besides maybe Alden and Luke. I think that's the initial trade of who they get back. I think that makes sense. I think he's going to die there. And now everything's working pretty good. I shouldn't say that. I jinxed it, right? What do you think Rick's reaction would be to RJ? I think he would be happy. Maybe he's like confused, like, Michonne, is this my baby? Is this my? Because I know in the past, Shane and stuff, that he's got to be like, what the heck is it? But that would be kind of cool for sure too. So, Odd Todd, great name. Hi Brian. Before I buy your book, is it based at children? That's what I read on Amazon. Just checking. Have a great Christmas. It's not really children by any means. I mean, there are some young ones in there. Majority of the youngsters are mostly teenagers in my book series. There are some young kids, but it's not about children. It's about, zombie apocalypse and, a guy in his, late 30s and his friends in their late 30s and, surviving that way. So I would not say it's about children for sure. So, yeah, didn't Kirkman say that The Walking Dead is not a science fiction? Well, he says a bunch of things. If you follow Kirkman, he's up and he's down, he's this and he's that, and he kind of said some things about, the blue meth starting it all. And he's like, yeah, I'll run with that. I'll do that for sure. But I think Kirkman was just saying that the immunity cure thing has been done in movies and shows before, and he doesn't want to do that. His idea is basically Kirkman wants, when the zombie apocalypse is started, the people get to a community or a spot or a location or an island or something, and then what happens? They have to continue to survive and on there too, and I just think that's the whole basis of it. What do they do after that? What's the world look like after that too? So I think that would be pretty cool. So, look, I'm sorry, but how can you still be fat in the Walking Dead universe? They only eat vegetables and drink water. There's no McDonald's. I think a character like Luke is just weird. Sander Van Viersen. Well, there's a thing called body types, Sander. There's an endomorph, an ectomorph, a mesomorph, and an endomorph. So some people are just bigger. When I say that, I have a whole video talking about that. To me, I'm a skinnier guy. I'm an ectomorph body type. So if you look at a football team, right, there's the offensive linemen. They're endomorphs. Then you have linebackers that are muscle-bound and really kind of jacked on there too. They're mesomorphs. They're muscular. Ectomorphs are like the secondary, the safeties, the quarterbacks, and the kicker, for sure. So, no, not a hectormorph. Hectormorph. Yeah, that's good. So that's a Hector is a hectormorph. No, it's an ectomorph, like ecto cooler, ectoplasmal, ecto, not hecto. That's pretty funny. So that's kind of what it is. So some people are just bigger, and no one is big boned. There's not a certain things. A skeleton is a skeleton. It's adipose tissue, muscle mass. That's how big people are or not. No matter how hard you eat, run, exercise, diet, some people are just going to be bigger than others. That's just the great thing about life. Everybody's different, and that's great about it too. So that's kind of what it is. So I think that's more of what they're too. But I would think Eugene would be a little thinner than he would be, and Luke was that they were at a community before too, so maybe they were eating okay too. So. Brian, do you think the teenagers at Hilltop will be killed? They seem unprepared considering they grew up in the zombie apocalypse. That's true. I don't know what the fate of them will be. Maybe they'll die in the Whisperer War, one of them at least. I think one of those guys has to go. I would say the douchey guy, but they're both douches, But so I think one of them has to go, right? What's up, Brian? Do you think Rick would be at the Commonwealth when Michonne goes there? I know that when Michonne goes there in the comics, she sees her daughter. That would be epic. I think Tavatka Kurin. I think that's what the twist is. I think instead of, I'm blanking on her name. Instead of Michonne's daughter, you have Rick. And that's the epic connection that we're going to see. That's why it makes sense to have the Commonwealth, because it's not too far off the source material. You have that for sure. So, yeah, exactly, Eddie Pizzo. So, Robert Kirkman is troller of the trolls for sure. He knows how to say things and put stuff up. Remember when the lineup was going around and you saw that one video when he's in the offices of Skybound or whatever, and on the wall on the whiteboard it said death of Negan's victim. It said Michonne ? Or something. You're like, you ain't killing Michonne off. Michonne's one of the best characters in the Walking Dead. You can't just kill her off like that. Come on, for sure. So. Yeah, fat spoiler warning, good night. You got a lot of good stuff on here, guys. So sorry about the stuff that happened before with the connection on there. I don't know what was going on there, too. Do you think Negan will take Alpha's head like the comic? I think so. I think that's going to happen. But I would actually love to see Carol do that to get revenge for Henry. Tudor Q&A, you think they will adapt Commonwealth on TV? They already adapted one storyline. Comic story on Rick's exit, maybe Dwight's return, at least as a late league comic. For his late league comic story, Commonwealth, if Austin is clear to return. I hope Austin comes back. That's Dwight on the show, Austin Emilio. I think Rick is done off the show. But I don't think the movies cannot necessarily connect with the show too. And you know they're going to film in Georgia. You know they're going to film that for the tax breaks and all that stuff too, and the Raleigh studios and this, and they're going to have some spots there too for sure. And hopefully we'll get more information about the movies when they come out. But I think the Commonwealth can be a movie and a TV adaptation for sure. But with how they're going to do it, because they have to tread lightly how they're going to do it. And I don't know if Andrew Lincoln just wants to do 3 movies and then he's done totally, but he said he's done with the show. So we'll see how they want to do it with Gimple writing it on there for sure. What you got here, guys? I'm going to do a couple more questions and then I got to get going. I'm way over time for this connection BS on there too. But again, before I leave, guys, I want to say happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and everything there too. Be safe. I think that's definitely a factor for the holidays too. It's crazy out there. It's stressful out there. If you're shopping, I know some people wait till the last minute to shop. Be careful with it. I do a lot of my online shopping, Amazon and eBay and stuff like that. So hopefully you guys will be getting some Walking Dead stuff. I would like to know what you guys get. I have some gift cards hopefully coming my way that I'll be able to use for some Walking Dead stuff. And I want to go on the Walking Dead studio tour. Hopefully you guys will be on there too next year. I'll be on the Walker Stalker cruise in 2 months. In 2 months, it's February 21st through the 25th. So I will be there partying up on the boat, the final Walker Stalker cruise for sure. I think that we got to have some good times on there, and I'll have a bunch of video for you guys as well. Michael, speaking of body types, how do you feel about Alpha being built like a guy? It definitely. Well, I think, Michael, that it's just the camera angle. If you see the one shot, she kind of is smaller. She's hunched over with it. And then in the little teaser trailer, she looks kind of young and petite. I think that would be pretty cool. I think she'll look more like a woman. I don't think she's going to be, like a linebacker, like some would say. I think should be okay there too. Brian, the timeline doesn't fit. They don't have that much comic material to adapt since they already finished some Rick exit. Well, obviously, the Commonwealth story, the movies, however they're going to do it, is going to be for itself. I think they might end up with the Commonwealth story being in the movies and then coming to the show on there. But you know that if people are going to meet Rick, it's in the movies. And where's Rick going to be? We just don't know yet, but I just think it makes sense that they have Michonne. Michonne has to reunite with Rick. If they don't do that, that's BS. If Daryl doesn't reunite with Rick, that's BS. If Judith doesn't, if RJ is not reunited with Rick and Rick does not meet his child, that is crap writing. It's just going to be crap. I think Gimple knows better to do that. I think he can do a lot of good things. He's done some good things in the past, not really season 7, but 4, 5, and 6 were pretty good, and that was all Gimple being the showrunner. He just got to channel that in his writing on there too. So, yeah, he looks like Smashing Pumpkins on there too. But all right, guys, I think I'm going to finish there. Thank you guys for joining me on there too. Yes, Hector, give a shout out. If anybody plays The Walking Dead No Man's Land on your phones, on your tablet, join our PT Guild. It's Fight for Us. If you want to check out my book series, it's Fight for Us. I'm really trying to do big things with that too, so hopefully you guys will check it out and support the cause. The money goes back into making more books. I got 8 books available now. I have 2 books available next year, and I'm really shooting to get a 3rd book, but not of that potential, not exact of that series. So when I get further along with it, I will have more of that for sure. I'm excited to talk to you guys next Sunday. I will be here hopefully from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Hopefully you guys are enjoying football. I haven't seen any besides the games last night. Hopefully you guys will be safe. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Hopefully everybody will be there. We'll be having more and more videos. Hopefully you'll check out my Top 10 Tuesday video of my top 10 favorite Christmas movies. They won't be The Walking Dead because it's not there, but Top 10 Tuesdays will continue on for many more weeks, and it's Christmas on Tuesday, so I will have that for sure. And thank you guys for joining me. Last question by Janet. Brian, do you think Fear will have more time jumps? The timeline between the two shows is so confusing. I think so. There's potential for Fear to join up with Walking Dead. There's been things where some casts say it probably won't happen. Some casts say they're open for it. We don't know, but they would have to have a time jump to meet up at some point, on there as well. I'm excited to talk to you guys next Sunday. Hope that you guys will join me next Sunday for my live stream. Happy holidays. Check out Fight For Us, available on Amazon.com. It is right there. Ooh, good. This is weird. Right there, Fight For Us. And thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff if you haven't met. If you're just checking out for the first time, truly appreciate you guys taking the time. It really means the world to me. Let your friends know, your family, to help the cause. We have a goal of 100,000 subscribers. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. Thank you guys again, and happy holidays.